Flickr, we've got Delicious, we've got FriendSpeed, we've got YouTube, MySpace, and there's a handful of more. We also have in our handout if you want it later. These are all the social medias out there. And there's one for everybody. They've got categories for art, bookmarking, cars and audio, connecting with friends, consumer reviews, cooking, food, dating, education, event planning, health, medical, kids, news, music, fashion. So to answer question number one, is social media good for my company? Absolutely yes, because there is a spot for you in every single spot in the social media atmosphere. Social media is the newest version of Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is when communities kind of came together and then they started bringing out. The first real one was pretty much MySpace. MySpace came out 10 years ago for the band community, for the like the underground community, so everyone can kind of promote where their band's going to be, and it kind of went viral from there. And people are like, oh well, we can be friends, and we can communicate. And then from there, we've got now, which is the biggest one, is Facebook. Facebook actually beat in one day, only one day, it was last month, as much hits as Google got in one day. So Facebook is the #1 traffic as this point. But of course, we're having controversy with Facebook of your profile page as being too public. So for a business perspective, you don't want to have a Facebook page on a profile. You want to create your own business page. Creating that business page can be kind of difficult, kind of hard. And we can always have one-on-ones on what's the best place to put your Facebook page. Social media is a great way to get your concepts, your ideas, your message across to the audience that you can never capture. My company, SEOWhat.com, was founded in California. There, of course, you know, we've got small business owners, we've got entrepreneurs, we've got huge companies. You know, social media was a big hit there, but at the same time, because it was Orange County, California, you didn't need too much of it. You could have a seminar, and I'd have 10,000 people there, and that was the networking right there. Where the neat thing is, what I've always found, in the last 6 years I've had this business, is I've been able to take small business owners that are mom and pops and take them to the top. 6 years ago, one company came to me and said, I want to be #1 for baby clothes. And I want to be the best, and I want to be sold out. And you're like, but you know, we're not Target, we're not Jewelry, we're not all these places. So what we did is we socialized them. We got them ranked #1 in Google from an organic standpoint. For baby clothes, we beat Jewelry, we beat Target. We tweeted, we social media, we squidooed. We did so much social networking about that company that we could step away and it did itself. People were doing the social media for them because they loved their business, they loved their product. That business was then 3 years later bought. Is exactly what he wanted. See, and he was running his business in his basement. So you can take with social media, you have the aspects and you have the way to be able to be, okay, well, maybe I'm a small business, or maybe I'm, you know, in southern Minnesota, you're not in Orange County or New York, but you can beat New York, you can beat California by all these different social networking. Social networking gets your message across without having to go to all these PR places and spend $10,000 on PR. You can just put your message out there, and then, you know, and then it will just eventually start viral. Viral marketing is the way to go. So what social media will do for you is it will take you from a no one, not a no one, I don't mean like that, from a nowhere on the internet or a no brand to a brand that can be, you know, retweeted, or you can add 5 Facebook friends, and you can get FriendSpeeds, and then you can get all these different networks that next thing you know, you're going to get a call and order, whatever your conversion is, whatever that end result is, from somebody in Massachusetts. And you're going to, how the heck did you find me in Massachusetts? And they're going to be like, oh, Twitter, Facebook, FriendSpeed. And it was because a friend tweeted about it, and then somebody else tweeted about it, and then somebody else Facebooked about it. Next thing you know, you're everywhere. Kind of a social media one-on-one. What can it do for your business? So if you have a website, the one thing that we utilize it for is better search engine rankings. It helps completely, I'd say 98% with SEO. Matt Cutts is one of the head of the team for Google's algorithm specialist. And they just came out with Mayday, which was Google's new algorithm change. And the biggest thing he said was, it's all about social media. more social media you have, the more credibility you have with your company. The more credibility you have with your company, the more visibility you have, the better indexing you're going to get. So one, social media is going to help you with better search engine rankings. It's an easy way to get your name out there. You're not going to have those huge PR firms. All you have to do is have 100 friends, those friends have 100 friends, those friends have 100 friends. Next thing you know, you have 300 people already know about you, and you didn't pay a dime. It extends your contact base. So if you're a B2B, it's a great way to find contacts, especially through LinkedIn and Twitter. And you can even use it on your phone. It acts as customer relations tools for business. So for example, we have a discussion group on Facebook, so you can have groups and pages. We have discussion groups. So if somebody has a question for me, they'll go to our discussion group is a group on Facebook, and they'll ask a question, we'll read it, we'll answer it to them. Same thing with Twitter. People are constantly, saying at SEOwhat.com, my meta tags are doing this, or I can't do better rankings, or how do I create a Facebook page, and then I retweet that and explain to them what's best practice. So from a B2B standpoint, it's helped me be able to reach an audience that didn't feel like they could pick up the phone and call me. Because one, a lot of people don't want to pick up the phone because they're going to get salesman. And nobody wants to talk to a salesman. Or, I don't. So it's able to be able to have that interconnection without having to have face-to-face contact. Because a lot of people today don't like to do that. It increases your business referrals. It increases your business referrals, I'd say 110%. I've had, just me personally, we're a referral-based company only, and luckily we've been able to be that for 6 years. I get all my referrals from Yahoo, Google, Amazon, people of the nature that I've grown through the .com years, the last 13 years, and they've sent referrals to me. Since we've been on Facebook, Twitter, FriendsFeed, etc., I'm constantly getting more people picking up the phone and calling us or contacting us through our contact form. Actually, I got a local business here locally because they were following me on Twitter for the last 2 years. Because I do tips and tricks. I do a lot of tips and tricks about what SEO is, what search engine marketing, what is all these different things. And they were following my tips and tricks and how they can use it for their business. And then all of a sudden they saw my Twitter account and says, I'm moving to Mankato, Minnesota. And they're like, whoa, really? So I got here, I settled in, and they contacted me. They're like, we've been following you for 2 years trying to use your best practices within our website. Now you're here, can you help us here? So it was kind of neat to be like, I didn't even know you're following me. So it helps you with referrals, it helps you build your business. It builds your credibility. Again, like if you use it for your business and not to socialize, it's going to build you as credible. So for an example, Nicole came to me and she works at a veterinarian hospital. And she was going to create a Facebook page. And she was like, what should we do to get these followers? And I said, you got to make it fun. America today needs fun action. So I said, we'll do a contest, do a trivia. Do dog trivia, cat trivia. And have a trivia question every day or every other day, and then have people answer it. After whoever answers it, you get to pick one of those people that answered it, and they get to win like a bag of dog treats or cat treats. So in return, what are they doing? They're getting more followers. Obviously, the followers love animals because they know animal trivia, so she's capturing her audience. At the same time, she's going to get more friends because her friends are going to be like, I just want, XYZ on, this Facebook page. So they're going to be like, well, I'm going to be on that page. I want to be that fan because they're going to want to get into the trivia, and it's going to become viral. And then she's going to have people all over the world that are going to be wanting to be part of this trivia about animals. But at the same time, now it's building a huge brand for their business. And it's making the viewers excited. So that's pretty much why social media is important to your business.